What's up, YouTube? It's Mike here, back with another video. I figured we'd just go through some updates of what's been going on the past couple weeks around the fish room. Obviously, everybody wants to see how the rays are doing from stingray biology, so we'll get into that. And just generally how all the fish are doing. Before we get into it, I ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell for notifications. And if you like the video, please like the video. So for starters, everything is an absolute mess down here. And there's a few reasons. We had a hurricane a few weeks ago, and during a bunch of multiple power outages, I had a few different pumps let go on me, or stop working, I should say. So I was running two of these on the 1100, and something about the power going out, I think, fried the controllers. So I had a controller let go on one of them, and then a power supply let go on another. And luckily I was able to swap out the controller and power supply on this particular pump, and it's been running okay since I did that. So I had two backup pumps here, and I set one of them up. I plumbed it into this corner where the other pump that fried was, and it was running really good. It was supporting half of my media bed up here, and then there was a line that also tees off and goes to the 600 and supplies that with water. So it was running pretty good for a couple days, and then I lost power again, and power came back on, and that pump never came back on, and there was nothing I could do to get it to come back on. So that was, I forget which one it was now, but long story short was, so I swapped it out for the other one that I had, and the other one turned on. It was kind of weird. So the other one turned on, and then I wanted to make some adjustments. So I turned it off, and I made my adjustments to the plumbing just to kind of open it up more and give kind of like less head height. And then the pump would not turn back on, and it seemed to overheat. Actually, it got very hot. So I unplugged it, and I'm not messing with that anymore. It was kind of stressful because we got the rays in the middle of all that, but what I ended up doing to supplement some of the loss was I hooked up a small pump here, and that pump is feeding this sump. And then what I've done since is my buddy Caleb, who helped me with the unboxing, he brought over some FX6s and an FX4. So I'm running these two, which are pumping from the 1100 all the way up to the sump. So between those three pumps, we're kind of making up for what I lost. And then this canister, which is bleeding air, that's why it's filled with air, that is feeding the 1100 now. So huge mess. Yeah, anyway, on to the fish. The fish have been fine, luckily. I think my supplemental situation for the pumps has worked okay, but all the rays are doing good and seem to be eating pretty well. I wouldn't be a monster fish keeper without monster fish keeping problems. Other than just the pumps, though, we got bigger issues than power outages and pumps failing. Before I get into that, I will say that I did order two new pumps. I wanted to upgrade and get nicer pumps, and then the place that I ordered from ended up canceling my order, and I never got notified. So then I ended up going like 2 weeks and expecting the pumps to come, and I never knew that the order got canceled. Huge pain. So now I'm back in the market for trying to get pumps. I'll figure out what I want exactly, and I will order pumps. Until then, I think we're good. But one of the biggest problems I'm having here, there is a little bit of stingray aggression there. I think that's fine. That was between a male and a female. One of the biggest problems I'm having right now is with the fly river turtle. Now, for the most part, this fly river turtle's been pretty easy. He has taken a couple bites out of fish here and there in the past, but for the most part, I've had very little problems with him until lately, where he has become obsessed with the short body red tail catfish, and he will chase him around to no end. He absolutely hates him. And if you notice, he's getting like a white patch on his head, and I think that is actually from the stingrays. Like, this ray is awfully curious. I don't know if it's from the rays or if it's from him fighting with the red tail cat. And if I can get some footage of him biting the red tail, he might go over and do it right now, actually. I think he's going to go over and do it right now. So this is the problem that I'm having. And I think that's either his head is gotten scratched up from him doing that, from him attacking and them fighting each other, or it's from the stingrays. I can't really tell. But either way, I don't like it. So I have an idea. Unfortunately, it means I've got to move some fish around. But I do have an idea that I'm going to try to get this fly river turtle out of here and give him his own tank. And quick update now on the 600. Everything in here is doing really well. Some of these hybrids that we got from Stingray Biology, absolutely insane. This one has healed up a lot. That is a beautiful male. And then this is another really nice male that I absolutely love. So very cool. And these guys were pretty beat up when they came in, and they're looking a lot better. Discs are looking a lot better. So this is a female that came in, and what a beauty. And a little update on our new arrival, the Cuban gar with the backwards lazy eye. He has been doing really, really good, and he's grown, he's thickened up. I am definitely happy with this guy, looking good. I'm going to be moving him out of quarantine very shortly, especially because I have some new fish that will be coming in that are going to take his place. But I'm going to be moving him. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put him in here where he's small enough that he can't really do any damage to anything. And maybe if we keep him with a lot of fish while he's small, he can get used to being with other fish and not be too aggressive. We'll see. Worst case, we'll give him his own tank. And I'm thinking same thing with this scat, this African tiger scat, who's been doing great as well. I think I'm gonna try to move that one over to here too, and we'll just see how it goes. As you see, Wasabi has been doing awesome, super active and responsive, very hungry all the time. Everything's been doing really good in here. I did have a bunch of convicts that I used to keep in here, and I ended up using them for what their original purpose was, which was going to be monster fish food. And I know some people aren't okay with that, but that was the reason why I got them as little fry, was to use them as food, and then I ended up keeping them for a while, but they started getting very aggressive, as convicts do, and trying to breed, and it was becoming a very big stress to the other fish. So I ended up tossing them into the 1500, and they were quickly scooped up. Now, this was before the Stingray Biology raise. If I still have the footage of that, I'll include some of it right now. We've got a few things going on too. I set up a little 20-gallon breeder tank, which you guys are gonna see in a future video. Not so much the setup, but just what I'm keeping in there. It's kind of cool. I think you guys will really like what is to come. That'll probably be next week's video. But anyway, here's a quick update on Pinky being the same as he always is. He's been doing good with the Synodontis decoris. Pretty low maintenance tank, pretty low maintenance fish, other than can't be kept with many things, and he just wants to eat all the time. Last but not least, the 1500. Everything in here has been doing really well. A lot of people, including myself, were very worried about the bioload on this tank, which the tank has done extremely well. We have not bloomed or had any real issues. My biggest concern is still that some of these, all the females are very skinny still. So you see the hip bones popping through. They came in like this, and again, they had to be purged for a while, but they are just not eating as well as I would like. They are eating, but they just not really eating. Like when my rays eat, they'll eat everything they can grab. Sometimes these ones will just kind of graze over things. So I think they're just not completely settled in. This big female, she looks healthy, but this big female does not look healthy to me. That one is skinny. This male, he came in looking fine. He was never skinny, and he still looks good. He's active. And then this other female, she is very skinny. But again, they've been active, really active. They're always cruising around the tank. They do graze on food. They're just not eating as good as I would like. All in all, though, considering we got 12 rays, everything has gone pretty smooth. I have been stressing. I was stressing before I got the rays. I was stressing after. Been stressing just to make sure everything goes well. You know, we never want to see an animal die, but we especially don't want to see somebody else's animal die in our care. So I'm going to try my best to make sure that these guys get the best care they can. and hopefully we get them eating better so I can kind of ease my mind to that. But the tank looks phenomenal. I haven't cleaned the glass, and that's kind of deliberate, so you'll see a little bit of a haze. That is not water quality. That the water is crystal clear, but I'm deliberately not cleaning the glass because that's a lot of beneficial bacteria, and I really don't want to mess with it right now, especially because we just added a bunch of big rays just a couple weeks ago. So again, I'm just gonna let the glass be a little bit dirty for now. And again, I'm trying to be careful with feedings. Although I do want to feed these guys and get them full, I do have to be careful how much I feed the tank. The other issue with feeding is this phantom red-tail catfish eats way too much at once, and I have to be really careful of that because it's a fast fish. It'll absolutely eat all the food before other things can get to it if you're not careful. So spread out the food as much as I can and be careful with him getting too fat. So delicate situation. It is going well. Considering. So that's pretty much it. I figured I'd come back to this tank because it is really cool to watch. Look at these rays, guys. These rays are just amazing. They've really colored up since coming in. So when they first came in, they were really, really pale, and I didn't really get to appreciate how beautiful some of them were until now, where they look so much better, and their patterns are really popping. They're super active and doing great. This guy, you're a pain, but we love you. We got to give him his own tank. There's just no way around it. He needs his own tank. And this guy's like, look at me instead. Forget about the turtle. Look at me. You guys tell me what you think of this idea. I think it's my best case scenario right now, especially because I don't have a lot of space. What I'm thinking is we take all these bigger rays and we put them in the 1100 with all the other rays. The two smallest pups, my albino pearl and my little black diamond hybrid over here, they're kind of small, so they can't go in the 1100, but I can put them in either one of these tanks. Then that opens this tank up, no stingrays, for me to put the big fly river turtle in. It's plenty big enough tank for him for now, and that will give him his own space with nothing can hurt him and he can't hurt anything else. Now, I did notice that one of the short-body tinfoil barbs had something that tried to eat it. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was a ray or if that was the silver arowana, because the silver arowana has been trying to chase them since day one, but I've never actually seen them do any damage. That worries me. And now I'm not really sure, because I could move the silver arowana too. He's big enough to go into the 1100, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. But you guys let me know in the comments below. I think this would be a good fly river turtle tank. Move all the rays out. They're all big enough. They can all go in here now for sure. I don't think it'll be a problem. And that'll give the fly river turtle his own space. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the updates. I've got a bunch of different stuff coming out the next few weeks. I've been trying to work on a lot of plumbing and get these tanks running the way I want them again. Plus, we've got new arrivals coming in that I'm excited to show you guys. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Thank you as always for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram at OffTheDeepEndAquatics, and I'll see you guys in that next video. Thanks.